Wonderful viewers and great Nigerians, welcome back to your darling station, The Living TV. Today, you are in our maiden program, Abia Today. In today's Abia Today, we are going to look at a personality, a man you know. For those of you that don't know him, if you're an Abian, that means you're new in the state. If you don't know him, you've heard about him in so many ways. He is a political guru, he is held so many positions in the state here, and also a practicing lawyer and a philosopher. Let me welcome to the studio today in Abia today, St. Moses Ogbonna. St. Moses, you're welcome to today's program.
Thank you very much.
All right, St. Moses, there are too many persons. We know you're a man of too many paths. A lot of people may not know the standpoint where you may be coming from at any given time. I will want us to meet you.
Yeah, I am the only living saint in the whole universe, Son of God. My name is Saint Moses Ogbonna. I'm a lawyer and a human rights activist, very serious one. I also ventured into politics. In my journey, I became a member of the People's Democratic Party, registered in Ward 6, Eziamanvasi, Akulebu, Eziamanabuba. I held many positions in PDP. I've been the one-time state publicity secretary of PDP. I've been former state assistant organizing secretary, PDP. I was also the immediate past organizing secretary of People's Democratic Party. Apart from that, I have my chambers as a lawyer, as an activist. I'm the national chairman of Nzuko Ohaneze Okwangwa, a socio-cultural organization, foremost socio-cultural organization of Okwalangwa people. I was also the chairman of Sevaba Group. It's a human rights organization. I was also the chairman of Abia Redemption Movement. I'm also the chairman of Easy Life Initiative for Rural Youth. Aside that, I'm the CEO of Living Television, CEO of Living Radio, CEO of Living TV Film Academy. Let me start so far.
Okay, you've been in the corridors of Abia politics all this while. And what would you tell us about Abia yesterday, before we talk about Abia today?
Abia State politically has moved from different levels to other levels. If we begin to talk about Abia from the cradle, from the creation, you will see that Abia State was inherited with nothing. Because at the time Mbakwe was the governor of Imo State, Abia State was inside until Abia State was created and Ogbonna came in as the governor of Abia State, tried the best he could. There's one thing, whenever you go for any burial ceremony, a song that is always featured prominently, what you will be remembered for. I think that song is more important and more prominent and relevant during burial ceremonies. But in your lifetime, I think it is a song everybody has to recite and they ponder over. When you live this life, live this world, if you find yourself in a position of power, a position of responsibility, and peradventure you live, what shall you be remembered for? And many people who venture into politics don't even wonder over it. They think about their pocket, loot the lootables, and leave. So when you look at the past governments, from Ogbonna, if you ask me what Ogbonna will be remembered for in Abia State, I will think more than 10 minutes. Probably what I will remember is only the Abia. Now you ask me about Ojozokali. We're not talking about the other military because there's nothing they can be remembered for. You ask me about Ojozokali, I will also ponder. Probably I will look at Ojozokali Bridge, which is almost dilapidated. Then we come into
the relocation of the teaching hospital, the Abia.
Abia, good. We talk about T.H. My Oga, a man I respect so much. I will ponder again. Anyway, he started the new Abia Secretariat. The Abia Secretariat.
Okay.
Where they are now. He achieved something. But when it comes to Abia, because what makes many governors appear to be forgotten is when you do not know that the legacy you leave in Abia or deny Abia will make or mar you or the future you crave for. So when it comes to Abia, if there is nothing you can place your finger upon to say this is what this person has achieved, you will be missing it, and you will be struck to the unnoticeable history of the past. Then we arrived at Okezie Ikpeazu. Okezie Ikpeazu tried, constructed some roads, built the almighty flyover,
the first ever.
The first ever. At least before it can collapse, the next regime that comes in will have used it as a yardstick to move further. It has some other things he did inside Abia, like the garment,
Enyimba
garment factory, the shoe factory, the collapsed Fox Road, the new building at Area Market, and so on. So I think that when I look back, I see that some of the things that make these people...
You've not mentioned the new government house.
The new government house, yes.
So unfortunate to note that Abia State government has been on rentage.
You see, that is why when you look back, you see that most of these governors that came and left made one mistake. They chose whom they will work with. And many of these people they chose to work with are psychopaths. People who may not look into their eyes to correct them. People who are after their pockets. People who do not have the interest of the people at heart, but their own interest. And they will come to advise you and tell you what you will want to hear. That is why most of them failed. So, myself, I looked back and look at my activities from the era of Ojozokal when I was in University of Uyo. I did not play so much active politics. To T.O.J. where I played active politics. To Kezie Ibazo, where I now joined politics. I see that the best service I can give to my people is to pull back to activism.
In retrospect, during Okezie or T.O.J.'s government, the rumor making made wave, serious wave, that we were one time in loggerheads with the government to an extent of being in police custody or cells.
Not police custody. I was even detained in the prison, now correctional centers.
Correctional.
Because at that time, the same problem we do have in government, where you begin to look at the people you govern with your ears without using your eyes. People will rush to tell you, this is this person, what he is saying against you, and he becomes your enemy. I wasn't at loggerhead with His Excellency T.O.J. Rather, he misunderstood me because I was telling him what he should do for the people. At that time, I had this NGO called Save Abia Group. And we were monitoring what was happening in Abia. At that time, the governor will say one thing. His aides will do another. Abia was yearning for roads. There was no single road in Abia. And he was crawling that he has spent 5 billion on roads in Abia. And the people we saw in Abia that were repairing the roads were using wheelbarrow and trowel. They will mix cement and they pour it on top of the roads. And I went there to ask them, is this the cost of 5 billion, rehabilitation of 5 billion naira worth of roads? Because they wanted to stop me, they went on and told me I wanted to cause crisis. And when it wasn't possible for Abia to move, there was no road. Save Abia Group came up to pray so that God will give us a good leader. That was when I was arrested to stop that prayer. And I was put in prison custody. Be that as it may, he came to understand whom I am after that matter. And by the grace of God, it was now a matter of where do the next button of governance go. And in that wise, we worked together. We said, give it to Kwangwa person. And Kwangwa man came. That is Dr. Okese was. And whatever he did, his best, he did his best. Even though his best may not be good enough to some other people, but he did his best.
Okay, that's about the past government, and let us look at Abia today. Just about, we're going to be brief on that because I'm really going to come back to you and also your political activities with this present administration. Now we have a new government, entirely a different political party from the then PDP that has been in power for close to 24 years now in Abia State. What are your anticipations, your expectations with this new government?
You see, the reason why I left, many people said I resigned from PDP. I didn't resign from PDP. But I left partisan politics entirely, including PDP. Not that I just resigned.
As we speak, you've resigned from partisan politics?
Resigned from partisan politics because...
Not just resigning from PDP?
Not just resigning from PDP. As I sit down here, I am no longer a politician. If you invite me into any party, I won't be there. So that we will come up to defend the society. Partisan politics will make you be parochial, will make you to
Limit
either
your movements and
you just to be talking in defense of your party, be it whether your party is right or performing or not. Because it is what your party has done, it is good. As it is, if you even give me appointment, I won't take. I'm not looking for any appointment. But we are going to tell the government of the day, please show, these are the things our people want. You remember Jesus Christ. And I said the same thing to the immediate pastor governor. When he asked his disciples, whom do people say I am? If you are a governor and you do not ask yourself that question to your aides, what truly the people say you are doing, you make the same mistakes the past governors did. And there is one beautiful advice, instruction God gave to Lot when he was taking him out of Sodom and Gomorrah to a successful leadership, governance. Says, run your race.
don't look back.
Look forward. Don't look back. Any governor, president, a leader who succeeds any position of power, and you do not look forward, and you begin to look back to see whether you are the person you...
To see what you've left behind.
My brother, you will see non-performance. You will see criminal actions. You will see things that were not good to you personally.
All right.
And the moment you pursue it, you may not go forward.
All right, Mo, we are going to go on a very short break. When we come back, we're going to look at that. But, well, wonderful viewers, it is good to note that St. Moses Ogbonna has held several positions in the political party of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, including organizing secretary, publicity secretary, and so on, has resigned from partisan politics. We are going to go on a break, and we'll be back shortly. When we come back, we will continue with Abia today. We are also going to know what he intends to do after now. Don't go away. Be with us. Wonderful viewers, I'm glad you're still there watching your favorite program, Abia Today. This is our pioneer program, Abia Today, where we discuss personality profile. Today, we are on St. Moses Ogbonna and Abia politics. Fortunately, you had him. He has resigned from partisan politics. Is that possible? That's what so many people will be asking about, knowing that he's a wonderful activist. St. Moses, yeah, like you said you've resigned from partisan politics, not just PDP, but from all forms of political parties. Now, before I want you to take this question, it is heard that the current governor, Dr. Alex Chioma Oti, is somehow related to you because you are from the same Vosi in Isialangwa. And then, are you saying if you are offered appointment with the government or with this present government that you will resist it?
Yes, I will resist it. Not because I hate working in government, because he will hate me working with him. Because what I have found out in successive governments is that they like a sycophants. Alex Oti is my brother from Eziam in Infos. I would like to give him advice at the background so that he does not make mistakes the past governors do. If you are in his cabinet, you will be a yes person. You will like to do what he wants. You will no longer, you will always be defending him against the true expectations of the people. It's better not necessarily coming in the open to criticize him, but have an access to him where you will tell him, when Jesus asked people, whom do people say I am? That there people said you are John the Baptist. That the people at on the Jangwa are saying you are Moses or Elijah from Osisiama. If you ask me whom truly you are, I will look you in the eye and say, my brother, why people are speculating you is because they no longer understand you. Your campaign promises, you are not able to keep it. I can only say that to him when I know, and he also knows, there is no stake. There is nothing. The only stake I have with him is for him to succeed, and not for him to fail at all.
All right. Nature they say about vacuum. Now that you're resigning from active politics, what do you intend to do now?
I'm back to activism. To tell him what the people say, whom the people say he is. We will be his ears to tell him where he is wrong. And remember, one funny thing with me is that I must say it. If I want to tell you in the private, we will now say it in the public. We are going to establish a program on television and radio, what we call village hall. When we establish the village hall, wherever you are, and you feel there is something that is happening that ought not to happen, be it in your relationship with your landlord, your relationship, there is just a police case I went to attend today. The police took 100,000 from a client of mine for bail. In fact, they told him 2 million. When I went to answer a call, before I came back, they started to 100,000 from him. If you have such a situation, you come. We will give you a seat here. And we will call the person in charge. Say, you are live on radio and television. Why are you holding that person? If it is your landlord, we will call him. If it is a government person, we will call him. I said, this is what we had has been given to you to do. Why are you not doing it? Live on television. So that everybody will sit up. Abians have suffered. We have suffered. We don't intend to continue this way. We don't intend to see our government from partisan point of view. We want to see whoever has come to govern Abia, from your relationship between you, the mandate the people have given to you, and the people, from what the people want, whether you are doing it or not. Not looking at you, even when you are doing it. I will hate you because you are not from my party. You are not from my place. You are not the person I want. No. People will now begin to look at you and talk to you from what you promised the people you want to do and what the people expect you to do. And when you are doing it, and anybody is coming to begin to criticize you because he is not from your party, because he doesn't support you, because he did not vote for you, we also will join you to tell that person, stop, he is trying.
All right. Yeah, you've talked about what you are talking about activism, and activism is not just going to focus on government of the day. From what you said, it's going to cause across every strata of human endeavor, including the Nigerian. You mentioned something about this police station, especially in Abia here. The thing is very, very rampant. Now that you have decided to go back to activism, are you ready for what you suffered last? You remember what happened, though the lawyers backed you up, but you remember you were not supposed to be, call it a correctional home, but you were there because of speaking out the truth.
The promotion of every activist is correctional home. Ask Emperor Ogbonna. He became so famous when he was taken there. I became so famous when I was taken there. If you're an activist, you are not taken to correctional homes. In fact, at that time, this man advised me to be going with my soap dish, so that when they tap you, you go in there with your toiletries. Listen, let me tell you. There must be a Jesus Christ to save mankind. There must be somebody who will sacrifice himself to save humanity. If we go the way we are going, you see, the whole thing is everywhere. Government will build market. They will now put people, impose the market people under the subject them under the government leadership. No. You will build the market, and the people that will buy it up are your brothers and sisters, civil servants who are not traders. As we are advising the incoming government, please expand that. Build markets. See that the shops in the markets belong to the traders. You don't build a market and they sell it out to non-traders, teachers, civil servants,
the problem
their brothers. Mega mall. That's why mega mall cannot take off. Because the shops at the mega mall have already been bought. And none of them are traders. And they are now fixing a price where the traders will now come to be subjected and held at the jugular. And nothing will move. There is no trading organization, market committee, that will like floods to enter into their markets. Yes. That will like shops to be built all over the place. That will like shops to be built even in the motor park. As it is today, I do not see any market in Abia State that firefighting vehicles can go in if there is a fire outbreak. Because the government people have sold all the spaces to their people who will now. There was a group that came to my office, a group that was given to build shops at a core. They don't own shops. The people that own shops were complaining about where they were building the thing. But because they were having the backing of government, they continued. In fact, government threatened to shut down the market, remove the shops from them if they complain. We will not want the incoming government to do this. And we will not support, we will back up the market people against it. You see the streets. Every house in the street has 8 meters from the building, where if you want to come to the shop, you park your vehicles. But these meters of vehicles have been sold out, given to shops everywhere. You can't park vehicle except on the road. Market, village hall will address these issues and alert the government on these things.
All right, because of our time, we will be calling it a quit now. But before we go, St. Moses, I want you to give a parting word, especially as it concerns this activism, because I think that is what we are mostly lacking in this town, and that is why most government functionaries behave whichever way they like. When you have activism, where people can come out openly to speak the evils that are happening within any part, whether the government, private sector, and so on, I think people will sit up.
Many people who think that activism is just coming out to criticize government, even when they are performing. No. activism is to defend the defenseless. Be it government, your landlord, the police, whoever. Even your senior brother who does not want you to inherit your father's property. Come here, village square, village hall. We will sit you on the television and invite him and ask him, police, why are you holding this man? Government officer, why are you giving authority to begin to intimidate people, collect tickets that is not possible to be collected because you are given an appointment? No, we will not allow it. Village hall is there to defend the people. And when we are doing this, we will also advise the government to have our television in your office, so that the people will not run to you to say, these people are against you. It is then that you will know what the people are crying. My brother, it is not easy to enter the office of the governor.
That's true.
You see that Dr. Alex Oti may rule for 8 years. He will not see one other person coming to him. It is only those who surround him that will be telling him what the people say he is. If they misinform him, there was a day we were studying in the church. They say God is omnipotent, omnipresent. I say he's omnipotent, yes. But omnipresence, I did not agree.
Why?
Yes, because he's not everywhere. It is because he has angels whom he trusts. Okay. The spirits who bring my report to him, undiluted, the way they are. So if any government does not have those Holy Spirits and the guiding angels, who will bring correct report? What they will be giving you are reports as you want to hear. And when you begin to act according to those reports they bring, my brother, you will see that the public will be against you. And the report you are getting is contrary to the behavior and the impression of the public. You will not think they are criticizing you. So, I will want the incoming government to have a media person who has all the television screens in his office, including him, so that when they say Living TV is criticizing you, say, put it on. Let me hear what Living Television and Living Radio is saying. Put on Magic FM. Let me hear what Magic FM is saying. Put on Buzz FM. Let me hear what they are saying. If you rely on what your media person and your advisors are coming to tell you, my brother, you may end up where others ended up. You may end up governing people whom you do not understand. And those people will not understand you.
All right, wonderful viewers, that's the march we're going to take today. This Abia today will continue. And we also been having some other personalities who have paid their dues in the state and then their experience in politics and in governance. That's what this platform Abia Today stands for. So we can always call on you. You can also visit our office at number 120 Street, opposite the Ziama Police Station, Ikotek Bene Road, adjacent to Old Neighbor. Visit us there, that is the first floor. And also remember, in every of our program in Living Television, if you tune 90.9 Living Radio FM, you will equally hear what we say on television, you will equally hear them on our radio 90.9. So, here you have nothing to miss. Today, we have St. Moses Ogbonna, who has resigned from active and partisan politics, not joining any other political party, but going back to the calling of his father, the activism. And that is what he's going to do. And St. Moses Ogbonna, we are pleased to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
And from time to time, we'll be calling you. And also, we want to also announce to you that by next week, we will advise the days for the village hall is going to commence. And so that you can always call in. You can always bring in people, and also people who are oppressed. If you, is it your landlord, just like he said, your landlord, is it the police or whatever, or government or whatever, is it land disputes and so on. and where you are worried. He is not
Or what you want the government to do, they are not doing. You come here.
You come here and then you tell us and we tell the world. And also remember that in Living Television, you can also hear us from our Living Radio 90.9. These all we have, and this package will be coming your way from next week. Village Hall is important and you must be part and parcel of it. On today, as we sign off, while thanking you again for coming, St. Moses Ogbonna, this is your anchor man, Chinedum Adiele, signing off. Keep watching Living TV.